everybody, it's Daka-chan, and today is finally the day that Dirty Computer has been released. This is going to be my first listen, you guys. It took a lot of willpower to not listen to it, but I did it, and we're going to listen to it now. So, the first song is called Dirty Computer, featuring Brian Wilson, and if you looked on her Instagram, she had like a little link that you clicked, and then it took you to this page where it shows you, or it tells you like inspirations behind her songs. So the first one, it says that it's inspired by Bacola Breedlove, Genesis 3:16, Genesis 9:20, and Leviticus 18:22, and the Zong slave ship, the corded virgin belts in ancient Rome, and the secret prisons and detention facilities in Chechnya. So let's see.
Computer walking by. If you look closer, you'll recognize.
No.
I'm not that special. I'm broke inside. Crashing slowly. The bugs are in me. Dirty computer. Searching for someone to fix my ride. Text message got up in the sky. Oh, if you love me, won't you please reply?
After that first one, like, it was a pretty chill track. I enjoyed it. I like her that she's keeping with the whole I'm an android thing, so saying she's the dirty computer is kind of relevant. And it's kind of sad because I'm not that special. I'm broke inside. There's bugs inside of me. I'm breaking down. I need someone. I'm looking for someone to fix me, like that sort of thing. She asked God in the sky to help her out, but she's like, oh, but I thought you loved me. Won't you reply? But I guess he hasn't, so that was a kind of sad. It was a short little song. I enjoyed it. The second one is called Crazy Classic Life, and the inspiration behind this one is inspired by the vibranium in Wakanda, wild mushroom tea parties in Mexico, and the notion that true freedom also comes from the right to be wrong, at least occasionally. So without further ado, let's listen to it.
Young, black, wild and free, naked in a limousine. Riding through the hood real slow. I love it when I smell the trees. We don't need another ruler. All of my friends are kings. I'm not America's nightmare. I'm the American dream. Let me live my life. I want a crazy, classic life. I want a crazy, classic life. So if the world should end tonight, I had a crazy, classic life. All I wanted was to break the rules like you. All I wanted was for them to love me too. But no matter where it was, I always stood out. Black Waldo dancing with the thick brows. We was both running naked at the luau. We was both on shrooms praying face down, waist down. Remember when they told you I was too black for you? And now my black popping like a bra strap on you. I was kicked out, said I'm too loud. Kicked out, said I'm too proud. But all I really ever felt was stressed out. Kinda like my afro when it's pressed.
Okay, so that one was another chill track too, and it was basically like, just let me live my life. If I wanna party, then you should let me. If I wanna love whoever I wanna love, then you should let me, like that sort of thing. And then I liked the lines like, I don't need a diamond ring. I don't want to waste my youth. I don't want to live my life on my knees. So like being told what to do and like kind of like being submissive. Like she doesn't want to do that. She wants to like own up. And she does like, it's basically like no regrets. So like if the world were to end tonight, like I had a crazy classic life, something fun, something that I enjoyed doing. The next one is called Take a Bite. This one is inspired by Eve in the Garden of Eden, Bilquis, the Queen of Sheba and American Gods. I love that book. Neil Gaiman. Marlene Clark in Ganja and Hess, and Scheherazade in Arabian Nights. I've heard that name before because Dracula. But Take a Bite, I can see the Garden of Eden because like the bite of the apple, but it's spelled like gigabyte, so like keeps with the computer theme. So let's listen.
Take 'em to your mama now. I tell you no lies. I tell no lies. Your code is programmed not to love me, but you can't pretend. Oh, what a surprise. Maybe it's lost, maybe it's love, maybe it never ends. Ooh, say your goodbyes. Say 'em now. Play in my hair, the nibble there all on my mocha skin. Yeah, just take a bite. I saw my therapist, she thinks you are my magic sin. Oh, maybe she's right. Maybe she's right. Well, I'll just lick an angel just to purify again. Ooh, angels are fun. Yeah, won't you just take a bite? Go on and help yourself. It's alright.
Okay, so that one was alright. I feel like it was a little repetitive. She just kept saying like take a bite, help yourself, which is fine. She's starting to become very sexual. Like I know before this album dropped, she did like some Rolling Stones interview and said or came out as pansexual, which is great. But it's you can tell it's starting to infiltrate her music because well, I mean, it's totally fine because like she's just living her truth, living her life or whatever. I don't know what she's saying take a bite of. But she really likes it and she's enjoying it. So like if that's what she wants to do, I don't care. I could care less. The next one is called Jane's Dream. And it's inspired by my terrifying nightmare about a near future America full of abductions and secret detention centers, oddly like our own. Oh, it's really short. It's an interlude. Like, that was, there was nothing really to comment on that one. So, we'll just go to the next one. It's called Screwed. It's featuring Zoe Kravitz. I didn't know that she made music. But it's inspired by the dismal morning of November 9th, 2016, so when Trump was elected. And Gloria Steinemann's tearful quote, "I'm just tired of being screwed and being screwed by my friends." In the Shirley Chisholm documentary Unbought and Unbossed. Yeah, because like that was the thing. Like you thought you knew some people and then they kind of just went and voted Trump. And I mean, like, I'm not one of those people where I can like totally disfriend people. Like, I don't personally know anybody that voted Trump. I kind of live in a bubble where I'm just surrounded by people who are just like very like-minded. So I've never had to go through that. Like, oh, my best friend like voted Trump. Like, I don't know if I could just throw away an entire friendship just because they voted Trump. Like, I would try to like talk them through it. Like, why? Like, what made you want to vote Trump? Like, what's your reason behind it? Like, hopefully it's not like racially, like, I hope you're not a bigot. Hopefully I didn't like not know you this entire time. Like, I would try to understand and maybe like, cause like try to start a conversation, cause you can't just like shut people out. That's what makes everybody so split now. Like, it's so divisive, the topic anyway. But anyway, let's listen to Screwed.
I live my life in a magazine. I live my life on a TV screen. I live my
for screwing.
Let's get screwed. 100 men telling me cover up my areolas while they blocking equal pay, sipping on their Coca-Colas. Fake news, fake booze, fake food, what's real? Still in the matrix, eating on the blue pills. The devil met with Russia, and they just made a deal. We was marching through the street, they were blocking every pill. I'm tired of hotels trying to tell me how to feel. For real.
Okay, so that song was really clever because she was talking about, like, let's get screwed, like, with sex, but let's also, like, everything's just so screwed up. Whereas, like, 100 men telling me to cover up my areolas while they're blocking equal pay, sipping on their Coca-Colas, fake news, fake movies, fake food, what's real, still in the matrix, eating on the blue pills. The devil met with Russia, and they just made a deal. So the devil is Trump, I'm assuming. We was marching through the streets, and they blocking every bill. So, like, the women's marches and all those, like, the gun marches. Because I like that line, too, where it's like, we're going to fill your guns with water. Like, water guns, and turn it into something fun and not something violent. There's a very vocal group out here that it feels like they're not represented by the people in government, and there's no, like, that's where the power comes in. It's like they kind of have a lot of power that they're kind of abusing, and it's like, and they're not listening to, well, at least it seems to me, it's like they're not listening to the people that they should be, because it's like, we voted you in, but it's like, you're not even listening, like, even to the Republicans, like, everybody says that, like, common sense gun legislation is a thing. Like, even Republicans, they're like, we understand you're not taking our shit away, but it's like, it should be harder for some people to get them. Like, mentally ill people should not be getting guns. But they don't put that in for whatever reason. Well, we know why. They're getting paid by the NRA. And they want to keep their checks coming in, so they're like, no, we're just going to keep that legislation out. And it's like, people always wonder, like, why is there no compromise? Why is there, like, why can't, like, anything get changed? But it's like, no, there's a lot of money in government. And as long as there's money in government, then the power is never going to change. It's always going to be screwed. The next one is Jingle Jane, and we've already listened to it. But we'll just listen to it anyway.
Fine, never Django, and I Django, never Sambo. Black, we gave you life, we gave you birth, we gave you God, we gave you earth. We filmed the future, don't make it worse. You want the world, well, what's it worth? Emoticons, Decepticons, and Autobots who twist the plot, who shot the sheriff, then fled to Paris in the darkest hour, spoke truth to power. And nigga down dog, nigga move back, take a seat, you are not involved. And hit the mute button. Let the vagina have a monologue.
So this was my first time actually, like, looking at the lyrics, and this one is very like Black Power. I don't know why people get so uncomfortable whenever, like, a black person is just like, yeah, I just love being black. And it's like, that's great. Like, who's telling you otherwise? And it's just like saying they're finally getting recognition. Like, she got all the Oscars, and she'll probably get a Grammy and a Tony and then an Emmy, because she's she's pretty much doing everything. She's like a singer, actress, like all that stuff. So it's like just a lot of, like, black excellence going on, which is great. And this is the second time she said Sambo, and I can't really say I know who Sambo is. So I'm going to Google it real quick. Okay, so Sambo is an offensive term for a person with African heritage. Formerly, it had the technical meaning of a person having a mixture of black and white ancestry, more black than white. There's instances of it being used as a stereotypical name for African Americans can be found as easily as early as the Civil War. Sambo's grave is the 1736 burial site of a young dark-skinned cabin boy or slave on unconsecrated ground in a field near the small village of Sunderland Point near Heysham and Overton, Lancashire, England. Sunderland Point used to be a port serving cotton, sugar, and slave ships. So essentially it's about slaves. Oh, and she said, and I'm Django, not Sambo. So pretty much just, she's not the slave, she's the free person. And then paint the city pink, paint the city pink. I feel like it's those little vagina hats. And then just all the people that were wearing them in the streets. And then I thought it was cool that she said, hey, take a seat, boys. Let the girls have a chance. It's pretty much just like a song of uplifting some people that have usually been marginalized. And it's like, I don't understand why that makes people uncomfortable, but it does. Maybe it's because like they feel like they're getting pushed down, but it's not. It's just lifting up other boats to be equal. The second one is pink. Oh, I forgot to read the inspiration behind it. Sorry. Screwed. Jingle Jane was inspired by Dora. I can't pronounce the last name, and I'm not going to because I don't want to mess it up. Dora from Black Panther. Oh, okay. The Dora something was the all-women army, or not army, but like the all-women crew that like protected the king. So I could totally see that one. Pink was inspired by Prince's mischievous smile as he played organ on Hot Thing and watched Cat Glover shimmy across the stage in Sign of the Times, and by Kali, Sheila, Nagig, Isis, Sheba, Athena, Medusa, Mary, and all the Mother Goddess sculptures and paintings in pyramids, churches, and castles around the world. Midnight conversations and debate about the great cosmic mother. Insights from the Vagina by Naomi Wolf, and Interior Scroll by Carolee Schneemann, and the calligraphy of Sung Ping and Paul Simon's quote that pink is the only true color in rock and roll. I don't really like pink, but the song is good, so I can like it in that aspect.
Let's count the ways we could make this last forever. Sunny, money, keep it funky, control, top it, let it down. Keep it funky, touch your top and let it down. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, cause boy, it's cool if you got blue. You got the pink.
So of course that's a good one. This one, well, obviously it's gonna be a little sexual because like the video had vagina pants on it, but like looking at the words, like it's funny because like whenever I listen to it, I really don't think about it, but then when I read the words, it's like, ooh, it was a little bit more risque than I thought it was. Like obviously the pink is a vagina. Like pink, like the walls inside maybe pink like your fingers in my, maybe pink like the tongue going round. It's like pink is my favorite part. And I like the line some like that. She kept saying like some like that, so it's like some like the pink and some don't, because it's like, because boy, it's cool if you like blue, then we got the pink. So it's like Boys, if you like boys, that's fine. But if it's like boys, you like the girls, then yeah, we got the pink. Or it's like if girls like the girls, then they got two pinks. So it's like. So the next one we've already heard before, Make Me Feel, but I don't know what she was inspired by. So let's see. Inspired by the Woker, who appears in the Dirty Computer emotion picture courtesy of ID Entertainment. So I haven't watched that yet. I want to, but they keep saying that they're going to show it on TV, but I don't have cable because I don't need it. But I'm sure it's going to be released on the internet sometime soon, so I'll definitely watch that. And I like that she put emotion picture instead of motion picture. Can I just say this album, it has a lot of those 80s synth poppy sounds, and I like it. It's very dancey.
Little bit of tender and emotional, sexual bender. That's just the way you make me feel. 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 So good, so fucking real. That's just the way you make me feel. That's just the way you make me feel. That's just the way you make me feel. No love is. That's just the way that I feel now, baby. Good God, I can't help it.
So call me a hype beast, whatever the fuck you want. I think that's my favorite song on the album, at least so far. I Got the Juice is number 2, featuring Pharrell, inspired by the world-shaking visions of one Genshi Mutu and the glistening mothership hanging on the top floor of the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. I'm gonna have to use Google real quick. So the mothership is this goofy little, it looks like a spaceship. It's really goofy looking, but it's used by Parliament Funkadelic, designed by George Clinton, Peter Larkin, and Jules Fisher. It was the centerpiece stage prop used by Clinton and his multiple bands during their live concert performances. This object is a near exact replica of the slightly larger mothership that was used exclusively at the closing moments of concerts during the height of the band's popularity. Let's listen to I Got the Juice. And the only juice that I can think of is like alcohol.
Damn electric you. You know you got that juice. You know you got that juice. Down low. Down low.
Ooh, I like this one.
I got the juice. How many damn times got to tell ya I got the juice?
Up like weed in it, me and your jeans in it, yellow like pee in it. You know I mean me in it, I know it ain't lean in it, but it's got a little pink in it. Kinda make you wanna drink in it, got a little cream in it, but I feel a little bean in it.
Got juice between my thighs. Now where's the angels, baby? My juice is so divine. Ain't no juice quite like yours. Ain't no juice quite like mine. You try to grab my pussy, got this pussy grab you back. This pussy grab you back and give you pussy cataracts.
So that one, again, I may sound like a broken record. Very sexual. I didn't see the connection, or I didn't see it coming, maybe. The connection between juice being pussy juice. Like, that was a little shocking. That was the juice. Like, she used the metaphor, like the liquor metaphor, that's like one I knew. I'm the chaser, don't need a mixer. Because you know how, I think it's like with gin, you could put like soda water or seltzer in it to like chill it out. Because I guess if it's too strong, you can put it in there. And then she used like grapefruit, or passion fruit, sorry. Which is kind of like, it reminded me of Marina in the Diamonds when she did that song called Fruit. I think her body as a fruit, like she's plump and ripe and ready to be juiced. So I didn't realize that either. Now that this song like made it more spelled out, I guess, yeah, it just needs to be more literal for me, because that's not where my brain goes. My brain doesn't go pussy juice. I like the whole, if you try to grab my pussycat, this pussycat grabs you back. So like back to the whole Trump thing, that little dig at Trump, like, because that became a thing too at the Women March, is like pussy grabs back, like. But anyway, enough talk about pussy and juice. On to the next one. I like that. Inspired by whack-ass fuckboys everywhere, from the trap house to the White House. So she's just dissing on Trump the entire time here, which is fine, because he definitely deserves it. And I like it. Who make the lives of little brown girls so damn hard. Like they told y'all back in those black women's study classes, but some of us are brave. Let's do it.
All my attitude, sometimes I wanna roll, but stay at home. Walking contradiction, get some factual and fiction. A little crazy, little sexy, little cool, little rough around the edges, but I keep it smooth. I don't really give a fuck if I was just the only one who likes that. I never like to follow around the chase the sun. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. I remember when you laughed when I cut my perm off and you rated me a 6. I was like, damn. But even back then with the tears in my eyes, I always knew I was the shit.
That part where she says, like, even when I had tears in my eyes, I always knew I was the shit. Like, she always has this confidence about her, and I think that's why, like, I just like her so much, is because, like, I don't have any of that confidence, and then, like, seeing someone else who's just like, you think I'm ugly because my hair is poofy? Well, fuck you, I like it, so I'm beautiful. It's just like, I wish I could be that way, but I'm not. I try, and I'm very good at faking it. I'm like, you don't like my new haircut? Well, fuck you. And it's like, but in the inside, I'm like, I can admire her confidence. The next song is called Don't Judge Me. It's inspired by those vulnerable moments of the in-between. In between the moment you text something naughty and forbidden to them, and the 3 replying dots appear to linger forever while you wait for the answer and your stomach curls into a ball. In between what you say publicly and what you do privately. In between the face of the red carpet photo and the face in the mirror. In between what America says about freedom, but then actively does to me and my brothers and sisters. In between my mama and my loved ones, and the way I live and love in my new life. So I feel like I'm going to really like this song. I just like that description of it anyway.
Come let me kiss you right there. Wake you up like sunrise on the back of your thigh. Judge me.
I like that.
I know I got issues, but they try when I kiss you. If I'm gon' sin, it's with you. Tattoo your love on my heart. Let the rumors be true. Even though you tell me you love me, I'm afraid that you just love my disguise.
So I liked that really chill track. I especially, like, I liked the way, in some of the parts of the song, she was kind of like talk whispering, and it was like kind of raspy, and it was very, very hot. Like the part where it says, even though you tell me you love me, I'm afraid that you just love my disguise. So it's like, maybe she's talking about like the very personal persona that she puts out there, like the android persona, and then like maybe I believe that's her, but there's also more to her, like in her private life, that she's just like, maybe you fell in love with that, but like when you come home with me, like there's more to it. So if you just love me for that bit, then like, and you don't want to get to know the more to me, then maybe. And then it was kind of sad that it just like ended with, just say that you love me, just tell me that you love me. Like that's all I want to hear. It's like, even if it's not true, just tell me you love me. And like, that's kind of sad. The next one is called Stevies Dream. It's inspired by the backstage revelations and home conversations with Steveland Morris.
Even when you're upset, use words of love. Because God is love. Allah is love. Jehovah is love. So don't let your expressions, even of anger, be confused or misconstrued. Turn them into words of expression that can be understood by using words of love.
I like that one. Even though I'm not religious at all, I just thought that, because like, At least the version that like you're always told is like love your neighbor, just love and like be peaceful and all this stuff. So like I can get with the like concept of like I like spirituality more than religion, because if you're like a spiritual person, then you take those teachings and you apply them in your life. But it's like when organized religion starts getting involved, that's where I'm kind of just like I like the parts of religion that are like peace and love, because I like that. Peace and love, everybody. Do any sort of crazy thing as long as it's not hurting anybody and nobody is being abused, then I say go for it. This one is called So Afraid. It's inspired by The Walk and the Nevermind gas at the House of the New Dawn.
Mothers going to work and they shake the hands of a corporate tycoon's ghost. And I'm afraid. I'm so afraid. Rain pours down in the village dance. My cousins fetch for lunch. While I sit in my room writing letters to my church and things and such.
So I liked the way that it sounded, and the way that she sang it, and the when she's saying like I'm afraid, like is very powerful. But I feel like I'm missing a lot of it, cause like I feel like the song is telling a story, but I'm not entirely sure what story they're telling. Daughters sharpen their knives and hunt for food. Others watch their children grow. I'm so afraid is what I think to myself. I'm finding my shell, afraid of it all, afraid of loving you. I'm a gift and a curse to the wilderness. The birds fly high and they wink at the grandmothers on the ground. Cousins all in the creek. Riley and I run the scene. When the rain pours down, the ghetto dancing, yeah. Like I feel like I'm missing something. And so I Googled the other two things, The Walk and the Nevermind gas, House of the New Dawn. I don't know what the House of the New Dawn is. Nothing came up. And the only thing that came up in any of these words, because Nevermind, gas, like nothing came up for that. And then the only thing that actually came up was The Walk, and it was the movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he was doing the tightrope walk between the two buildings. I'd be afraid, but like I don't think that's what was going on with the song. So I feel like I'm missing something, but I liked the audio pleasure that I just experienced. So the next one is called Americans. It's inspired by Barack Obama's A More Perfect Union speech delivered on March 18th, 2018 in Philadelphia, further inspired by Quincy Jones' quote in GQ. You're black, that's what you get used to in America. Anger doesn't get anything done, so you have to find out, how do I make it work? That's why I was always maniacal about transforming every problem into a puzzle which I could solve. I can solve a puzzle, a problem just stresses me out. So A More Perfect Union speech that was talking about racial tensions, white privilege, and race and inequality in the United States, discussing black anger and white resentment, and other issues sought to explain and contextualize Wright's controversial comments. His speech closed with a plea to move beyond America's racial stalemate and address shared social problems. So that's been a theme throughout her entire album, really, so it makes sense that she would use it. Let's listen to it.
Don't fight your war alone. Hang around, you don't have to face it on your own. I like my woman in the kitchen. I teach my children superstitions. I clean my toothbrush on my blue nightstand. A pretty young thing, she can wash my clothes, but she'll never ever wear my pants. Don't try to take my country. I
really like the message in this song. This first part, it kind of reminds me of like 50s, like around the time when like Trump was gaining some speed. They kept calling him like the 50s man, and I feel like that's what that's what it reminded me of when he's like, I like my woman in the kitchen, I teach my children superstitions, I keep my 2 guns on my blue nightstand. A pretty young thing, she can wash my clothes, but she'll never wear my pants. I tell like that's like the very old-fashioned like family dynamic. And it's like, I pledge allegiance to the flag, learned the words from my mom and dad, cross my heart and hope to die with a big old piece of American pie. Don't try to take my country, I will but defend my land. I'm not crazy, baby, nah, I'm American. That kind of sounds like the very die-hard Republicans, at least to me anyway. Like, don't come in my country because I got my guns and I'm going to fight for it, like that sort of thing. And I like the way that she said American, because she's like, American, because like it reminds me, because it was saying it was inspired by Barack Obama, and his like whole thing was yes we can. Maybe that's not what she intended it to do, but like that's what it reminded me of. But anyway, thank you for watching. This is definitely one of those albums where you have I'm definitely gonna go back to, like, I choose to go back and listen to it, because there's some of them on my phone that are just like, if it's on shuffle, like I'll listen to it. Like there's some albums on there that I don't actively search for and click on and listen to. So solid work, Janelle Monáe. Great job. Keep it up. Keep doing all the stuff for the culture. Your culture and part of my culture. I'm part of the LGBT. So keep up with it. You're doing all sorts of good things. I love you. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you guys next time.